We heard much bragging as though individual victories are only about you. But how many actually didn't vote for you? Representation through service to others isn't about your personal success. Pride goes before a fall. The Bible teaches us to put God first.
The honorable member for Yamacraw.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The good member for Sinan said he had some props today, and being displayed on national and international television, I guess, is in the front of him in this honorable house, a photo. Madam Speaker, I'm seeking guidance in this because I think that this is out of order. And knowing the parameters around which this photo has been circulating in the past few weeks, I think that the member is is treading on very dangerous grounds to have that displayed person's image and likeness, possibly without their permission, to do whatever he's doing today in the House. And so, Madam Speaker, I would ask that that is removed and the member can proceed without such spectacle. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We heard much bragging of two-peats and three-peats, as though individual victories are only about you. How many actually didn't vote for you? Representation through service to others isn't about your personal success. Pride goes before a fall. The Bible teaches us to put God first. He who is last shall be first. Yes,
Honourable
Madam
member,
Speaker.
what is the relevance of you displaying this particular photo?
The May 12th, Madam Speaker.
What's the relevance?
Events of May 12th. We've spoken in depth, I think, about the success of the PLP on May 12th. And the images I've displayed thus far are all related to May 12th, including the evening. And Madam Speaker, I'm actually not doing anything contrary to what you had prohibited previously. So I'm not here to irritate the chair, Madam Speaker. I'm staying within the rules and within your existing decisions.
So what does this, the relevance of this
A
to
number
the budget debate?
See, there you go, Madam Speaker. This is a bit of a slippery slope. If I begin to discuss it, Madam Speaker, then I might fall within your existing decision. So I prefer not to get into the discussion about it, Madam Speaker, because as you would have noted already, Madam Speaker, also once it would have been sent to Committee of Privilege, you can start. You can do it midriff. You can do it tomorrow.
Yes.
You can do it next week.
Yes.
And every time I will stop you. Speaker, once I would have sent it to the Committee of the Privilege under the rules, no man or no woman in this honorable House, in this honorable Assembly, can speak to it. The gentleman from Yamacraw breached your rules, Madam Speaker. I did not. I've not spoken to it. Okay, and that is that. We will move on.
The chair recognizes
I know my
the honourable
rules,
member for
and
Cat
I'm going to
Island,
enforce them.
Rumkey and San Salvador.
It is often said that pictures speak 1,000 words. So whereas he may not be uttering the words, the picture is there to utter it for him. And in this instance, as has been said, this matter has been referred to the Committee on Privilege. Yes, as long as it is in that committee, we are not to speak about it. He's speaking about it just by displaying the picture. Now, it behooves us to have the Committee on Privilege to deal with the matter as quickly as possible to determine whether or not we could continue to talk about it. And that should be his urgings at this time, not to be cute, with his words, speak on one thing and then have an expression of his words depicted by a picture, I think is inappropriate, and he ought not to be allowed to continue to show it. It's already been shown, it's there, and it's gone. But I think you have made your point, and you should take the pictures down.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
That's the second member that is attempting to put a banana peel in front of my step. I'm not going to get into that slippery slope, Madam Speaker. I'm going to follow your rule. I'm not going to speak to it. If I can continue. The Bible teaches
I'd like for you to take that particular photo down.
it's also part of the matter of privilege. I thought the matter of privilege related to a company. This is
I'm not speaking on it.
This is an innocent.
I have sent that to the
This is an
Committee of
innocent-
Privilege, and you're not
this
going to
is an
draw me
innocent
into that
behavior, Madam
today.
Speaker.
But listen.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
Listen. At the end of the day, no matter what we think, no matter what would have happened, this gentleman is a Bahamian and he has family. So let's leave it alone. Let the courts make their decision. It's an open investigation. It's being dealt with by the U.S. And let's respectfully respect that. Let's just do that.
Down?
Down.
Okay. This is not far enough.
Down. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. We're sorry about the late start. We're about half hour late due to technical difficulties, but we are all good and ready to go now. And we know that half of Nassau does not have proper electricity right now, and so we expect the numbers to get up shortly. Um, so please do your duty and use your highlights at followers, share the live in your WhatsApp groups, etc. Take a second to do so, and even tag persons right in here. Make sure that everyone knows exactly what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, because our country is in turmoil. I mean, it has never been this serious. It has never, and so we. Okay, Bahamas. Hold on one second. Hello. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Perfect. So, so ladies and gentlemen, this one is going to be serious today. So get prepared to hang out with us. We'll go through as much as we can. We didn't get to use our usual setup today, so we're going to have to compromise. We had to change locations. The one weekend I decided not to broadcast live from New York. I stay right here in the Bahamas, and all electricity going out. Y'all think they applaud that because they know I here? I sure they didn't see me on any manifest leaving the country, so they probably shut down the whole grid. No, I don't think they would do that just for me. I'm not that special. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. Thank you for doing your part and sharing the live. And we're gonna get started. We're gonna get right to it. We got a lot to talk about today, but first we got to do our little side notes and cover a few things. Uh, to What am I doing? I didn't even have my microphone on. I hope you all could hear me. Okay, there we go. So now you should be able to hear me. I didn't see anyone complaining, so I guess y'all could hear me. It's a powerful microphone. We could turn that off. If y'all could hear me, this is a powerful microphone. Yeah, we spend plenty of money on this. All right, let me just make sure y'all got some good sound now. Okay, we got a lot of people on here, a lot of people on YouTube. Now, listen to my YouTubers. Every week, they've been knocking us down off of YouTube, sending complaints to YouTube. Um, uh, that's the PLP has been doing so, and Gardner's team to try to make sure. Um, I see my phone still ringing. I can't answer my phone right now. I see person still calling me. Let me make sure we got sound. I gotta put it in my ears. Oh yeah, y'all got some good sound. There's some good professional sound. All right, perfect. So all right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna get right to it. This one is gonna be serious. We got a lot to talk about today, including the $20 million. We're gonna blow your mind with a revelation behind that $20 million and where that went and how that was set up. There's some information about that and what's been going on with the Renaissance since player has been arrested. There's some serious information with what's been going on with that development since he's been arrested. That's going to shock you. Make sure all your family and friends is on here now. That one can shock you. We got some information about Halkitis and his connection to or relationship with. I don't mean uh, romantic, but his relationship with the daughter of Eric Player Gardner. Um, that was surprising to us when we saw that. Is shocking how all of this corruption just happens right in our face, and we don't even know what we're seeing, and we're seeing it, and we just allow it to continue to happen. But no more, y'all, no more. Our job is to put the truth out there. And there's someone, I think it was Eric Gardner's sister, Miss Gardner was putting some stuff on there on my Facebook page under my post when I talked about the relationship between Halkitis and Eric Gardner's daughter, and it was almost like a threat, or some threats that was on there. Let me make you all understand that our country is in peril, and there's no threat that y'all can send my way that's going to move me in any way. Y'all know what y'all have to do, what y'all do as corrupt governments, as corrupt organizations. Y'all vilify the person, the messenger who's sending the message. Y'all spread lies about them. Y'all attack them using any corrupt official or corrupt situation, courts or whatever you could find. That's the way it normally happens. So y'all do what y'all supposed to do, and then or you hire a hitman and you let them do what they have to do. But nothing that y'all can say or do is going to silence us. Y'all can lost me in jail. I'll be like Tupac making hits from jail. um, we'll be live from in Fox Hill Prison. All right. And so there's nothing y'all can do to stop what is going on. Our country is messed up and embarrassed because of the corruption that is going on. And we're not touching anyone's children. That's not what we do. We don't deal with people's personal lives. We never did. As much as they attack my personal life every single day, I don't ever attack their personal lives. And I know all their business. This is not about anyone's personal lives. This is not about anyone's wife or children or family members. This is about what's happening with the people's business, the people's money, the people's taxpayers' money, the VAT money. This is what's going on with the public purse. If you taking our public purse to launder money, we got to talk about that, man. We have a duty to talk about that. We're not hating on you. We're not watching your money. We're watching our money. We're not about touching anyone's children. Play has a lot of children. He has a lot of children in Jamaica. We have the whole file on him. He has a lot of children in Jamaica. He has businesses in Jamaica. In fact, there's a top notch in Jamaica. The same people connected. We haven't even revealed not even 1% of 1% of what we know. All right? And so this ain't about nobody children. But if your daughter or son or nephew, as we exposed last time, the nephew was fronting for player with the properties related to Venice Bay. And we're hoping that that company and their bank accounts are seized. We got some information for you. And so if there is one of the children, the sons or daughters, who is involved and connected, then we're going to speak to that. If the Godfather has a son, and his son is Michael Corleone, you can tell us not to talk about his son, Michael Corleone, who's about to take over the business because that's the Godfather's son? Think about that. Now, if the children have nothing to do with and not connected to anything, then touch them. That's out of order. But where there's any politician or banker or professional that is connected to the embarrassment that our country is going through right now in the international world, we are going to address that. And who have a problem with that, you all know what to do or what to try to do. You all didn't just start vilifying me and lying on me. So it ain't gonna be nothing new. Everyone gonna be used to it. So come with your new lies and your new tricks. Okay, threaten us with the crown land. You could bulldoze us and whatever else and take over the land. Whatever else you want to do. Make up your lies and your stories. Fine. But we are going to speak truth to power. Whether you like it or not. It's our country, and it's only one we got. And our country will not be used as a drug mafia. No one's scared of y'all. I got a mansion waiting on me on the other side. All you could do is try to send me there early. But whenever I get there, I straight. I remember y'all. Now, let's get down to business. Before we get there, we got to talk, just touch on a couple of things. One of those things we got to touch on is this electricity situation. I'm just going to brush through this because we started late. Just gonna brush through this. But ladies and gentlemen, we warned y'all before the election. From last year and the year before, we were warning you all about the electricity situation. Ladies and gentlemen, the electricity is bad in the country for one reason, because Focal is owned by the PLP and F&M. Not the party itself, but the persons connected who fronting their situation. And they sell oil to BPL. And they make money selling oil to BPL. We could have been on solar. You know the good thing about solar? And I'm not talking about a little small amount of solar they're going to do and make it seem like, oh, we're moving in the right direction. Listen, man, other countries like Philippines and other countries have done solar plants that could run 10 of this country. Just like that. But they are dragging their foot because they're making money off the oil in the meantime. And I told you that when they go to solar, they're going to still give that to Focal. So now Focal is going to be making free money off of you all from the sun. But we like to vote for get and swing. We want to keep the rich rich. So they are getting generators because they make money buying new parts. As the generator breaks down, that's money. Every time you see electricity go off and they have to solve that problem, that's cha-ching for them. That's bad for you, as it's messing up your appliances, etc. But that's cha-ching for them. Every time there's a breakdown or something that maintenance that has to happen with the generator, that's money for them. So while you sad, they celebrating. So when the electricity go off and you suck your dick, they celebrating money. Because now they got to order new parts and new generators. And they're making the money from it. Y'all stop getting swing here. That's the only reason electricity is bad in this country. We could have been running off of solar, and we gave y'all a 100-day plan. We would have been right on the way right now. We could have been already running off of solar and hydro. So that's the real problem. Listen, don't hurt your head about that. We voted for it. So when the power go off, don't cry. You take it. You nothing to cry for. Don't cry. Don't come call me about protests because of the electricity. Protest what? If you didn't vote, you voted for no electricity. If you voted for the PLP, you voted for no electricity. And so if you let this happen, don't cry. Don't suck your teeth. Fix your face. Sit up straight and you take it. People calling me about go protest because of the insurance situation and whatever else happened. We can talk about that in a minute. But listen, don't cry. You take it. All right? Because we had a chance to do something, and we let these same crooked people swing us. And what they did was get a bunch of extra generators last summer because they know election was coming. So they made sure that the electricity stayed on last summer, but that wasn't sustainable to get all them extra rent, all them extra generators. And so um, right before summer, sorry, right before and like in October when they know the usage was go down anyway, they got rid of them stuff and they do something with the bills. And I told you all, as soon as election pass, you can see them bills going up, and you can see the everything going wrong because all they wanted to do was get hair. All right, so uh, if you voted for this foolishness, let me tell you this again: don't cry. All right, you sit down and you take it. Now the rest of us, we have a right to speak. We have a right to say something. But if you voted for this situation, what you crying for? Yeah, don't let me see you crying. Just take it. All right. Um, uh, Another situation we got to talk about. The Crown Land situation. There was this news article about this man who was arrested. They try to make it look like this is a new situation. There's a man. I think he's a 70-something-year-old man, something around there, and he was arrested. They're saying for uh, building on Crown Land, building without a permit, all this kind of stuff. And they put this in the papers, and uh, and I guess people are thinking that they did it as a scare tactic and all that kind of stuff. Well, they probably did. But what's egregious about that, and I'm not saying this to sway the case or make you think one way or another about the case. Anyone who's guilty for any case, including this, if you're guilty, you must pay. The courts will decide. So I'm not saying this to sway you. I'm just saying this to educate you on what the situation is. The fact of the matter is that man was charged a long. Sorry, that situation was a long time ago. All right, he was on land that we know to not be Crown land, and the government has not proven that that is Crown land yet. But he was uh, on land, and it wasn't. Anyway, I can't give the details of the case, but anyway, that matter. Y'all remember we did a live. There was an old man who said that Carol pulled gun on him. Remember that? That's probably 2 years ago. I don't remember the exact date, but long time, probably like 2 years ago. Remember, we had a live right there by the farmland, and the man was saying how Carol had pulled gun on him and his wife, roughed them up. The man ended up getting a heart attack, um, in jail. Ambulance had to come and carry him. He's in the hospital for a couple of years. This old man, they send the white, a racist police officer to come and harass the people in that area, and he pulled gun on the man, and that was a long time ago. So they had charged him with billing without a CEC or something like that at the time, um, and so that matter was settled. And so now they came all this time later. Statue bar, then gone. All right, 6 months is statue bar for something like that. And they came all this time later, and now Carol them decide they want to charge him for billing without permit. Um, we investigated. We don't even see where Ministry of Works know anything about that or dealt with that. Um, uh, so if they did, then fine, but we don't see that. Ministry of Works, a building section, they're like, what? Who? What they did? They lock up what? And so I don't want to sway you one way or not to think that the man is guilty or innocent. I'm just giving you the fact that this is something old. This is them harassing persons again, sending Carol to do so, who's known for harassing black Bahamians. Um, and I say that because I've never seen him harass any white Bahamians. Um, I had to save his life a couple times by Club 601, me. As a police officer, I had to save him as they was beating him to smithereens. Me one, I had to save him. Not me one, other police was there. But I had to save him. So I ain't saying this in no kind of prejudice. But That's that old case. And they're pushing that like that's something new now. All right. So I just wanted to update people with that. And the courts will decide. They have their decision to make. And so this, what I'm saying now, is not to sway that in any way. But what angered a lot of Bahamians is that, hold on, you had these foreigners building on Crown land for all these years. All these friggin' years. And this disgusting, decrepit government could send a white police officer they know is known for abusing black Bahamians, including feeling up a female that I know about, talking with the searching her, to go harass a Bahamian man, but he billing on Crown land. They regularized the Haitians who built in Fox Hill. They regularized the person who built off Fire Trail Road by where the Rasta camp is. They regularized the Rasta camp. But you could drag an innocent, decent Bahamian before the courts. I'm not saying whether he's innocent or guilty or trying to sway you in any way. But all I'm saying is, right is right and wrong is wrong. How is the law only for regular Bahamians in this country when everyone else gets a free pass? Drug dealers getting empowered in this country. But you're all sticking it to regular Bahamians. That is sick and decrepit. You all need to stop until Bahamians start rising up and arming themselves. You all need to stop until that happens. And one day, Bahamians are going to be fed up. One day. Bahamians only can put up with this for so long, you know. Only y'all get rich. Only y'all could do whatever y'all want to do. And Bahamians are being beaten down in this country. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything. I'm not saying Bahamians are going to do that. But your actions are pushing Bahamians to the brink. You all wake up. All right. Next thing I want to touch on quickly. Listen, man. Sabas went and was selling groceries in his constituency. I guess he had to make some of that money back. What he been spending in that community. And he said he could do that once a month. I guess that's to make that money back. He says that it was a 40% discount. So that's at cost. How in the world is that at cost? You can buy, and we put it in artificial intelligence, have them go and search the prices at Walmart and Costco, and even if you use the app Instacart and whatever, and buy grocery retail in the US, you could get it for cheaper than what the 40% discount would be. That's retail. That ain't wholesale where you could get it for. That's, you could go in Publix and Winn-Dixie and get that for much cheaper than the 40% he talking about. Like, for example, because we put the numbers together, but because I saw it late, I don't want to go into that too much because I really need to deal with this Air Gardner thing. Let me help you understand something. Like, for example, the stuff he sent out in the flyer showing the comparison, none of them was 40% cheaper. He showed the average price here, and then he showed the regular price. None of them was 40% cheaper. All right? But, for example, they were talking about Capri Sun, and they were saying that they're selling a Capri Sun and for $6 something, right? Y'all saw that? But that was the 10 pack of Capri Sun for $6 something. The 10 in the back. You could get the 40 pack in Publix and Winn-Dixie's in the States. That's retail, that ain't wholesale. For the $6. So what they're doing is making money off y'all and swinging y'all again. All right? And so some people like that. I think because we're giving so much money to Sabas and them, that they use our money to build these buildings, our money. They didn't build it, and their money. They use our money to build these buildings and then renting the buildings back to us and getting about $100 million a year. Man, you can't take one 15, 20 grand and give out um, every month, give out uh, stuff in the groceries to the people. Since you care about them, y'all don't entertain this foolishness about, because obviously they have some hookup where they're getting groceries from in bulk or something, bringing it in, and instead of giving it away, they selling it to y'all to make some of that money back, what they spend on the campaign trail, and they selling it right to y'all, the same people they got it from. All right, but go and do the math yourself. I have a whole breakdown sheet and all that I was going to go through, but we don't have time because I won't get to the other meat of what's going on today. But go look at the flyer what they sent out and do the calculation. They ain't 40%. That's the first thing. And if you go and look at what you could get it for retail or wholesale in the US, it's garbage. All right. So I don't think that they should be selling. I mean, we've had giveaways in Pinewood. We don't get the public's money through rental and the public purse, etc. But we've had giveaways where we gave away snack food. Last summer we gave away snack food to all of the people. We let Pinewood people come. We also let anyone who wanted to come. We gave away snack foods to all of the young people. All right. And so I think that's something that can be done. I think this is something that needs to be done. Okay, so let's don't entertain that or make that seem like something good. All right. Now what they're doing is they're stealing from ideas they see in the COI's plan. They saw this grocery thing in the COI's plan, but that wasn't for a constituency. That was an idea we got from the US that where what they do is they sell groceries at cost to the whole state. All right. Um, and that helps keep grocery prices down. Just doing it to one constituency will not help grocery prices go down. And what does is hurts the other um, persons selling groceries in that community. It really hurts them. And I saw it this weekend. I think that's wrong to kill those Bahamians who invested all their money just like that. All right, without trying to give them a boost. So I'm going to leave that alone, and then we're going to keep going. Now, before we get started, um, ladies and gentlemen, uh, as you know, Eric Player Gardner was arrested on May 12th on election day. As you know, his company has the contract for Carmichael Village. Persons in that community would see him there, so they can't deny he owns or has any dealings with that. They would see him there dealing with that. They know he is the contractor. Many of them have come out since then and say, wow, we didn't know all this about him, but yeah, he's the contractor. Um, so they were seeing him. He does a lot of stuff on his own. He would show up to Inland Revenue because he's rowdy and he's biggity. So everyone remembers him in that way. I guess he feel, he run things. He would show up to different places and do stuff on his own. He wasn't hiding behind anything. He was doing it. So everyone knew who he was and that he was the one running this company. And he was doing day-to-day stuff for these companies. All right. Now, they're building in Renaissance. And guess what? They have persons working for Complete and persons working for vendors and subcontractors working for them. Um, and guess what? They have explained to me, this employees and subcontractors and vendors, that all this time they've been getting paid in cash. Cash. That's how they get paid every Friday. Cash. Sammy or Samuel Heal, remember we've done a lot of exposés on him, would show up. Player would sometimes be there. And they get cash money and they're paid in cash. Now, some of these subcontractors like, hold on, man, no, we got to deal with the banks. We need you to do a transfer so this money could easily go in the bank without question. And they were like, no, they refused. Player them refuse to pay the people in check or transfer. Cash. And so they've been complaining about this. So if this is a government situation, because right now, oh, I should add before I go on, and they haven't been paid since players been arrested. Let's take a sip to that. The, the people haven't been paid since players been arrested. So what they believe is that yes, the loan came from that heritage thing or whatever that is, and we'll get to that in a second. There's some stuff you got to talk about with that. Yes, the loan came from there, the $20 million loan, and it went into the company. So that's the $20 million is there. That's been done. Now, we know that that $20 million was received. And so the money should come from that $20 million loan and go to pay for what happens. And that's a bank situation. You don't show up to the bank and say, okay, that $20 million loan, we got to make some payments today. Give us $100,000 cash so we could pay off the vendors and contractors. And that don't happen. The bank at some point would tell you, no. Why are you taking all this cash to do this? No. The financial intelligence unit would flag that, right? So this is slackness what's been going on in this country. Cash, and the people ain't get paid yet. So Samuel Hill told the people they's going to get paid Friday. When Friday come, he said the government, he told them the government has not paid them yet, so they can't get paid. No. What y'all was doing was money laundering. And so the government got that money. Y'all have the money in the bank, and y'all are washing the money by taking illicit money. That's what it looks like to any civilized person, to all the workers there. Taking illicit money and paying them in cash with the bad money. And so now your bad money was used to build these stuff and it's washed into the system. And you hold on to the loan money. That's what is happening. The government need, and it's another letter for Pinta to write, because Pinta like write letter. Right, the commissioner believes, I don't know why y'all doing this foolishness. We get on them right now before we get into Halkitis them. Listen, Pintad, I need you to write another letter because Pintad is my new secretary. Whenever I say something, Pintad them just go and write a letter reference to what I said because they talk to someone from a media house and he gives them the information I gave to them. And so that's what Pintad was putting out there. And then they're putting out the stories, but not crediting me in the COI. But every Bahamian can see it. Everywhere I go, people saying how bad it looks that they are putting out these stories after I come and say something and not crediting us or not wanting to acknowledge us. But Bahamian people see it. But then my secretary, Pintad, last term, you was mini me. All right? You was trying to be me. I tell you my son can sue you. But this time, you my secretary, all right, in addition to that. So I need you to write another letter to the Commissioner of Police, please. And we need to know if those persons are getting paid in cash. Well, we know that because that's what they told us. We need that to stop right away. All right? We need that to stop. These people getting paid in cash. We need to know uh, when these people are going to get paid. And obviously, they're not getting paid now because the cash was possibly from the bad money, the dirty money, and player have access to that, and he know where it is, and he don't trust no one like that because last time he's in jail, they were selling off all the properties and doing different stuff, so he don't really trust. So obviously, player is gone, so no one know where the stash is. And that's why they ain't getting paid. But on the other hand, they shouldn't be getting paid because no bank should be dealing with any company associated with Player Gardener. We're going to reveal another company today. So y'all stay tuned. So before we go there, I want to get to the Free National Movement, then we'll get to the hot stuff. And I gotta, they're supposed to be our guard dogs, so I gotta feed them and I gotta make sure they in order and make sure they're doing what is right. They've been making a good effort to back talk in the House of Assembly, but the problem is that they don't know the law. And the last time I watched the House of Assembly, man, I could have cried for them, man. I mean, the speaker just mashed them down and shut them up. And every time she just come, they just shut up and go with their tail between their legs. Like they don't know what in the hell to do or say. I watched something last time. Pintard was trying to speak to the fact that there's now evidence that Player Gardner was able to withdraw money from the bank. My lord. And then let poor Pintard, they let him talk. They beat him down. He was in there like a high school child as they were stopping him. I heard him at one point telling Zane, I don't rate you. I don't rate you. I don't rate you. I don't rate the PLP. I was like, why you sound like a child? He's literally saying, I don't rate you. That's like how children talk. I don't rate you? Pintard, no man. No. The international community watching this. Don't do that. Instead of responding in that childish manner, we need you all to respond with the law. But let me help and fix you all up today because I got to send you all out there like a daddy sending his children to go back out there and do what they're supposed to do. All right? The bully beat you up? No, don't come to me crying. Uh, uh, Pick up a sock, fill it with rocks, and go defend yourself. Put a battery in a sock. Pick up some rocks. Kick him in his knee. So I'm going to send you all out there with good and proper instructions to deal with the people who bullying y'all. Because I really couldn't take that, man. Lord, and that was the last day of the house, I think. And you all don't know the law. The speaker actually, because last time we had a live, someone had called in and he had said, because I had said that Pintard shouldn't be asking permission. If he is the chairman of a committee, he shouldn't be asking permission to bring camera in there. And someone called and said, oh, this is the rules and this and that, because they don't understand the full rules. Now, the speaker at the next sitting read the law, which says that the speaker or the chairman of a committee in a committee has full authorization to do whatever they want in the House as relates to the speaker or in a committee as relates to the chairman of that committee. And that is so that no one can influence that committee. The chairman has all power. That's the law. And so she actually read that off from her seat to show them why she could make whatever decision she wants. But in doing that, she educated Bahamian people, but most people don't know how to listen to this or what they're hearing. And that's what our job is every Sunday, to make sure that you understand. So as the chairman of the PAC, Pintard, you don't have to ask no one permission for nothing, not even the speaker. You run that committee. You hear them now saying how the committee is sub judice and like a court and it has power and you can't talk about what because it's before the committee. That's how powerful a committee is. You understand? So Pintard, bring your cameras to the PAC. If they don't, tell them Lincoln tell you to bring it. Tell them I tell you to bring it. Say, my daddy tell me. Because I don't understand how you have all of these people, including legal minds, sitting down there. I'm watching Michael sitting right next to him, and I watched the speaker said something that is not the law, and I'm going to show you the video right now. That's not the law. We couldn't upload the video to the system. So I'm gonna have to play it from the other device in my hand. So sorry about that today. We had to make some moves. Um, it was sickening watching that. It was sickening. Adrian White sitting right there. That's a lawyer. Crazy Thompson. That's a lawyer. And they let that woman quote something. And any child listening to that could have heard where her mistake was. And Pintard just put his tail between his legs and shut up. I can show you a piece of proceedings at the house. I got to fast forward this a little bit to get it to where we needed to get to. But I want to show you how weak they are, and I want to give them some advice to help them. And you might say, why you keep fooling with that for them? Because I need them to understand this stuff. I need them to understand this stuff so that they could, to help them to fight in the house. This ain't just to criticize them. I got to tell them with the lawyers because they don't know. All right? They have no idea what needs to be done. And so they need help. And I got to help them from the outside. All right? Now, let me fast forward this a little bit, get this to where it need to get. And let's see if that's the right place. Hold on. Member in this house who would have gotten their books. Okay, that's it. Rules have been delivered, which is my right. Okay, they was going back and forth. Him and Zine, then him and the deputy prime minister, and then the speaker came up. I guess they passed her this book and said, "Hey, read that," and she read that. And so, um, let me help Pintard a little bit. Let me put this on. So not disturb so it don't ring while I doing this. All right. Oh man, I lost it. Okay. Let me try to get it to the right point again. We are not. Remember, I'm reading the content of the letters that. Okay. So first she talked to him like a little child and say, listen, man, I need you to just behave, just be quiet and catch yourself. All right. So I started to have to put this on a little smaller device, but y'all just bear with me just this one time today. Listen. Particular. Is doing? No. Okay. That particular person and these particular bank accounts of which you speak, are they not under investigation? I am simply reading the content of the letter that has been delivered, which is my right. I'm reading the content of the letter, Madam Speaker. Hold on. So first, he was trying to read the letter that he wrote to the commissioner. And was talking about player and how he withdrew the money, etc. Right? So she said, "Well, isn't this a part of an investigation?" So there's no law that says you can't discuss something in House of Assembly as a part of an investigation. And so instead of Pintard saying that to her, he said, well, I'm just reading the letter that was written to, and so he doesn't know what to do. And if you go and watch it again, he clearly seems lost, even up to before this, like they don't know how to respond. But when she said that, she should have been corrected post haste with was really the situation. But he then started flipping through the book in front of him, trying to I don't know what he looking for in that book, but he didn't know what to respond to. Something being under investigation doesn't mean you can't talk with it in the house. That's Oscar's foolishness. And so she said, "No, I'm just asking you if it's before investigation." Continue. Come on. And if their conscience would permit them, it's literally, Madam Speaker, one page remaining in reading the letter. That's it, Madam Speaker. And so, Madam Speaker, I would ask that you encourage members to just bear with me a little. I know it's painful. I know for some of them it may be embarrassing, but just permit us. Honorable member, you know better. I know better. Every member in this house who would have gotten their books, rules of procedure should know better. Hold on. And let me refer you to she had to go and read to see which book that is they pass her. Everyone would have gotten that book. Hold on. Rules and procedures. That was funny. But let's go. And now she's going to have a bedtime story and read from that book.
28. Number 20. Any reference to a matter awaiting or under adjudication in a court will not be permitted unless in the speaker's discretion that reference will not interfere in any material way with that court matter. So, honorable member.
Before I let her go on, ladies and gentlemen, Section 20 does say that. But when it talks about any matter that is before the court, that's talking about a court in the Bahamas. No court in the Bahamas right now is trying Eric Player Gardner or anyone with reference to this case. In fact, the Interpretations Act, which interprets terms found in the law, the Interpretations Act says when any law speaks to court, is talking about a court in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. All right? It says that. Clear as day. And so what they did, what the PLP did, because they know the F&Ms are rookies and they don't really know the law, they just put that little, let her read that book because they know Pintard would not have caught on. And none of the lawyers sitting next to him caught on because none of them stood up on a point of order and made the speaker look bad. Because if I was in that house, I would have embarrassed her right there and told her that that's a court in the Bahamas. That's not a court anywhere else in the world. That's why I noticed at first she say, isn't about an investigation? Because in the Bahamas, they said they're investigating it. But then they went to reading from the book because they know they could have swing Pintard. Any child hearing that would know that, hold on, that don't mean that if something is in a court in Ghana, we can't talk about that in the Bahamas. What are you talking about? But Pintard just put his tail between his legs. Rollins sitting right next to him. He ain't saying nothing because none of them know. They just know how to row back, but they ain't know how to deal with it with the law. When I finished with her, she might have stepped down because you can't be the speaker quoting that foolishness on this matter and get away with that. This is why they don't want me in the House of Assembly. All right? Until they know, so maybe 20, 30, 40,000 people might be watching this right now, but the rest of people ain't going to be paying attention. So they're hoping that only the educated people are the minority.
I'm asking you very politely to refrain from using anything, the name of the person under investigation and any material from that investigation in this honorable assembly, because we know that that is not the proper procedure of this house. And I didn't use it going on because I was hoping that members would go away and look at their rules, because like how I often look at mine. So today I'm asking humbly, because you know better, honorable member. I know better. And members in this honorable assembly ought to know not to know better, that we should not be doing that. So thank you, honorable member, and let's proceed.
Madam Speaker, in case someone joined the broadcast just during the time you were making your statement, I not only know better, Madam Speaker, I'm not doing anything that contravenes the laws or the procedures of this House. What is happening, Madam Speaker, is that members who are concerned about me raising a matter that is a source of embarrassment for them because they have signed agreements, Madam Speaker, that they have not been clear to the public about the nature of the agreements they have signed with this company, Madam Speaker, that they are now getting up and seeking to interrupt. So, Madam Speaker, let me close by saying this, Madam Speaker. Let me close by saying that.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Yamakro.
Madam Speaker, the member on the slip has just stated something that is inaccurate, and unless he can prove about signing any particular document, I think that the member needs to withdraw what he has said, because he clearly said it on the select after you would have indicated to him. And he is using this house as a stage for his performance. Anything that he has written to the police, he can have a press conference, he can go inside and build a little podium and stand on it and shout, but he will not be allowed to use this house as a stage for this performance in contravention of the rule of law and on the slick, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member, allow me. Just like him, I got elected to be here. You can't tell me what I'm able to say in this house. Just like him, Madam. Just like him. I don't rate him, and I don't rate his opinion, Madam. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members.
He said, I don't read him and I don't read his opinion. Like, that's the response. Anyway, afterwards, Pintar just left it alone and started reading from whatever paper he had in front of him, changing the subject. His big response was, I don't rate him and I don't rate his opinion. Lord. Can't be 5 years of this. Pintad them need help. Pintad, y'all call me, man. I don't mind. At this point, the country in trouble. I know y'all won't, but I'm gonna offer. Y'all just call me if y'all want to know what to do. I could have been in there to help, but I'm not there. If y'all had not run someone in Pinewood, I would have been in there, even despite the cheating that they did, and they wouldn't have been able to do none of this they doing. But of course, the media is going to ignore this stuff and they're going to keep trying to prop up Pintard. But country in trouble because the opposition is weak. That right there could have never happened under Ingram. That couldn't even happen under Tommy. That couldn't happen under Cecil. That couldn't happen when Pinland was in opposition. I don't know what in the hell this is. Brave wouldn't let it happen when he was in opposition. Jesus. Okay, let's move on from there. We got quite a few things to cover to get through this. So that's the preliminary stuff. I have some other stuff, but I can leave them for now because we got to talk about the good stuff, man. First and foremost, I want to talk about something serious. Many of you, and I'll just brush through this, but the company Heritage that we now know is a scholarship company that persons can actually invest their funds in the scholarship funds as a saving, and then by the end of it, they're able to get a certain amount of money for their children to go to university. That's what this thing really is. And their money, and that's Bahamians, and it looks like Jamaicans, Bermudans, and other people from around the Caribbean, it looks like their money was used to give to a drug dealer to launder his money. And we need a good and proper explanation for that. We were never told that it is heritage. They hid this whole thing in a very sneaky and slimy way. When they announced this $20 million deal, there was no talk about heritage. And so no one would know where to look. And that's where the problem comes in. Play a clip for you right now. We got to load this one, which shows when they made the announcement. Let's listen for the word heritage. Are you going to hear heritage or are you going to hear proven wealth? Well, you're going to hear proven wealth because it sounds like a lending company just lending money. But that was the cover so that people who invested in heritage may not know that this was happening with their money. That's what it seems like. And it's a cover so we didn't really know where to look to see what was going on.
Private sector freelancers could be here in person with us today. We're so very pleased that Proven Wealth Management have committed to in the amount of $20 million. In phase one, the Renaissance will consist of 200 homes, 104 single-family, 2 and 3-bedroom residences, and 8 two-story condominium buildings with 12 units each. Every building will be built to the highest quality, including steel frame construction, storm-rated windows and doors, attractive facades, and strong concrete foundations raised 3 feet above road level. The Renaissance at Carmichael will set a standard by which future affordable housing developments will be measured.
And so that's when they announced it. But what they did when they announced it was they talked about proven. They didn't talk about heritage because they were obviously trying to hide the heritage of what was really going on. And so now we have a situation where a person's good, earned, decent, clean money was given to a drug dealer in order to prop up that drug dealer and help to launder his money. All right, and that's where the major problem is in all of this. And so that's what was done. Now I'm going to speed through this. We discovered when we looked to see who got the loan. Well, the loan went from you. So we showed you documents last time. Went from Heritage to Carmichael Village Project, whatever the company is, right? It went to that company, to Carmichael Village Company. But guess who was the law firm that formed that company? And the subscribers from that company was persons from the law firm. Guess who was the lawyer? I'm going to give you all a chance. Let me see who could guess. Let me see. If y'all been watching this for all these weeks, all these exposés, this should be a Netflix series. If y'all been watching this, someone guess and tell me who was the lawyer who formed this company. And remember, this was supposed to be the government uh, uh, getting this loan in order to do this. Guess who is the law firm who formed this shell company or special purpose vehicle in order to get the loan? Let's see. Anyone here? Any guess? Let's see if it's moving. Any guess? Come on, y'all. Let's go. Any guess? Someone say Halkitis' wife. No, 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 not Halkitis' wife. Someone say Brave. No, not Brave. Not Brave. All right. McKay. No, not McKay. Monroe. No, no, no. Someone say Louis Georges. No, no. He ain't no lawyer. Unless he's lawyer in Haiti. I don't know. Hollows, no. No, no, no. Okay. I gotta fix you all up again. Every time we have talked about one of these companies, um, whether it was what do you call them? Top Notch or PPP or Paradise, or any we get to Paradise in a minute, or any of these companies that we're talking about, one lawyer name keep coming up. Okay, someone got it. Bo, Alicia Bo. Her name keeps coming up. This is Players Lawyer, Alicia Bo. Her name keeps coming up on everything. Her name, not just being a lawyer and forming the company, but being on the documents is a part of it. And so this Bo woman, why is it that the drug dealer lawyer formed the company, Carmichael Village Company, uh, in order for the loan to go from Heritage to that company? Why player people is who set that up? Y'all understand what's happening here? The drug dealer lawyer, the same Bo woman, formed what's supposed to be the government's shell company. The government ain't got no lawyer. The government's lawyer is the Attorney General office. How is it that Bo is the lawyer who formed that company? So, with that being the case, where that $20 billion really gone? That's a huge conflict in my eyes. We have the documents, but I won't speed through this. Um, let's keep going. So that's a major problem. So I wanted to get past that now. So um, hmm, we get to Marvin Dames, and we're gonna get to Halkitis. Marvin, someone tag Marvin Dames, please. Marvin, come here. Because the FNM is making a lot of noise in the house about this Eric Play Gardner thing because I forcing them to do so. But Marvin Dames, come. We finished with the drone stuff. We know you're gonna never come up with that 17 million. Okay, that's done. How is the FNM talking about the associations? Because Pintard, you just heard him talking about the associations with Player and that kind of stuff. Well, Player, the drug dealer, has a company called Paradise, right? Paradise was the company that was responsible for the Buju Bantan concert. Buju Bantan is basically Player practically owned him. All right. Um, Buju Bantan, who was also a convicted drug dealer, all right, who told the drug dealers and informants that he's connected to drug dealers, he could get them straight. And I think we have even have a video. I think we have a video of Buju Bantan actually snorting the coke. I'll see if we can pull that up before we go. I don't know if we had actually done it, prepared it, but yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Player was the first one to bring him, the drug dealer, to bring him over, to bring the drug dealer Buju Bantan over, he's clearly connected to Brave and them. All right, and he said Brave let him down. Brave he ain't give him something he promised, but I want you to see this is very serious. FNMs, y'all tag Pintad about this Buju concert. That was Players Company being used to wash money, launder money. They use concert because there's plenty cash. And you could always go to the bank with your little counter and see how much people was there, how much people was in there. And you could put whatever money you want put in the bank and you could launder money like that. And so it was a lot of money laundering. So, and when this concert happened, it was 2019. And in 2019, guess who was the Minister of National Security over the police, defense force, etc.? Marvin Dames. And Marvin Dames has a security company. And guess whose security company was hired by Player to do the security for this concert? Marvin Dames, whose boat was recently used for drugs. But he playing like he ain't know nothing. But we know he's connected to Player because he took some of Player's dirty money to this concert. Watch this little video to remind you because I know we forget. Um, all right, so Marvin, I know you're watching because you sent someone to call me. Um, here, Marvin's company, that his sister was, Marvin's company was responsible for the security at the biggest concert in the Amen history. Play it.
Well, time and tickets are running out. Apparently, some sections of the much anticipated Buju Banton Long Walk to Freedom concert of the month are already sold out. But hundreds of guests who will be in town from one cruise ship are also being accommodated for transportation to the National Stadium. Legal counsel is Alicia Bowe.
The Freedom Cruise Line that is
You heard the name again? Alicia Bowe. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not illegal. But why the lawyer mix up in the concert? The organization, the concert. When does that happen? Maybe you're not really the lawyer. Maybe you kind of running stuff. And so again, I wouldn't say you're doing anything wrong, but your name keep popping up outside of just legal counsel. That's just how it looks. But as Alicia, um, uh, and again, we ain't saying she's doing nothing wrong with this, but I just want you to see the associations. Keep watching.
Expected to overnight on the night of the 30th. And we've arranged, because of that, Paradise Productions has arranged shuttle services for our cruise ship passengers.
She said, so we've arranged, and then she stammer and say, well, Paradise, whatever, has arranged. So, Alicia, it looks like you deeper in this company that you and you putting out. Because your name on everything. And it looked like you hands-on. That's just how it looks. All right? And so she said, we've arranged, but let's keep going.
We're expecting some, based on my recollection, the last count was about 12 to 1,300 passengers coming off of that cruise line. And so the arrangement is to have those passengers shuttled from the cruise line to the concert.
Meantime,
Hold on. Why the lawyer dealing with all this day-to-day stuff with the concert? Like, y'all don't have a concert coordinator, you don't have a manager. Why the why the lawyer? Y'all see what I see? Y'all see it?
Perez Roll of Paradise Productions says organizers are confident that the concert with its diverse lineup will be successful.
But like I say, for every negative response we've gotten so far, we've gotten an equally positive response to match that. So again, the interest is overwhelming. And even people's response to the event, even those who have something pejorative for the most part to say about the event, they're still going to come. They're still coming. I mean, that's their response. They've already bought into the event. They understand the intention behind it. And the narrative is different experiences for different demographics, all in one environment that is safe.
That was very interesting. Perez Roll, we could deal with you another time, but we seeing your name all over the place too. But so you all see the concert, and I'm sure you all see what I'm seeing, right? Now let me take this to another document, and this the one where I need you all to tag what's his face, Marvin. Marvin, I need you to come forward to explain what we about to put forward to the Bahamian people. Why we don't have this queued up? We need you to come forward and explain this. Let's. All right. Let me go ahead and grab that for you, Marvin. Okay, we're gonna just load this up for you. Just give me a sec, Marvin. We're gonna need you to come to the head of the class. Um, for some beating. All right. Just want to load these for you. And so while the FNM is talking about who's we are actually seeing a lot of FNM associations as it relates to player also concerning to right thinking Bahamians. We showed you Carl Bethel's law firm and Michael Folks and all that was doing stuff for him. He got Carl Bethel was in the cabinet and they pushed things through. This is and so this is not just. I know they're grandstanding and all that right now, trying to make you think that the only bad guys is connections to the FNM also, and the FNM, the PLP had talked about him getting more contracts. Another contract for water and sewage under the FNM, but here we see where, and these people only deal with their people. They ain't dealing with no one outside of their people. And so we know if Marvin, if you got this contract, it was one of their people. All of their people they know with security company, how they get dealing with you, Marvin. That's the question for right thinking. All right. And all right, that's the best picture to look at right now. All right, so the picture I'm about to show you is window. Marvin, this your team. This fella in the fluorescent jacket, you know who that is. That's the fellow who works for you. I ain't call his name. All right. You know your sister sitting next to him who runs the company and the person sitting next to her. That's your team, right? From your security company. And your company got the security job to deal with this. This is again the this was the planning for all of this. Now, what's so interesting is that the police was so involved in this. The police was very involved in all of this. Um, as you can see, that's the senior police officer right there. We have more pictures and videos, but I'm going to leave that. Um, Senior police officer right there. So, if there's a Buju concert, I never see any police organizing no Buju concert. If you hire the police staff association, you just hire them. They just show up. They're not there to no press conference with you and talking about the organization but you were the minister of national security, so you was giving the drug dealer special favors. You knew all the intelligence briefing on him. You knew who he was. You knew who player was Marvin Dames because you was a police when he was first arrested with 90. You was a senior police, and you are the minister of national security at this time. You know exactly that was the drug dealer having a concert, Marvin Dames. You work the DEU, Marvin Dames. You know exactly who player is and what player does. Oh, someone said they can't see the picture I'm showing. Yeah, the picture is up. Um, Marvin Dames knows exactly what has been going on and what's happening. All right, so I have some newspaper articles and all that, and you all search the Buju concert and Marvin Dames and all that, and then you all will see it. In fact, let me just pull it up quickly because I want you all to see this. I don't want no one having no doubt because people don't like to do research and they say, well, he didn't show it when they could have just simply gone and looked for themselves. Um, Let me just show you because I want you all to see that Marvin Dames, who was a senior police officer, I knew who player was when I was a police. And I ain't working DU. Pull this up for y'all. All right, so this is the article on Buju Bantan, all access tickets sold out. All right, May 15, 2019. That's when this was. It's on the screen right now. It says Laurie Dames, spokespersons of the Dames Group, Ultimate Security Solutions, and Falco Security, the private security firms contracted to safeguard the event, told the media that more than 300 officers have been engaged for the concert. Boy, Marvin, boy, this is a big job. You got plenty money. So I would like to assure the public that security is a top priority for us and Paradise Productions. The security team consists of members of the Dames Group, Fire Security, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the NSA Security, she said. Well, they everything under MArvin Dames. Now, Pindar, I got another letter for you. Take dictation. All right, since you're now my secretary. Pindar, but let me finish this first. Oh, there's something different. We didn't get to that yet. All right. You stop sharing that now. Okay. So, Pintad, let's take dictation. You brought out the police force, the defense force, the NSA, and your security company for player. You brought out 300 officers. At any given time, because there's 3 shifts and people are off and that kind of stuff, we have less than 1,000 officers covering the whole entire Bahamas with 3,000 plus officers. We have less than 1,000 police officers covering the whole entire Bahamas. These dudes had 300 police for one concert. And that wasn't the first time Buju had a concert here. How much money? Let's do some math, see what. When I used to work for the Police Staff Association, I think you get what, $100, $150? I don't know. Don't hold me to the exact number. I think $150 for that event. And 300. Jesus. Just to pay the police officers, the officers, that's 45,000 right there. Just to pay them. How much you make? Police, the defense force ain't got no staff association that I know about where they get paid for working security for persons. I don't know about that. If there is, then excuse me. But that means you brought the defense force to work for player. Y'all see what's going on? You brought the police and defense force to work for the drug dealer and you got paid for it. And so you probably personally benefited for bringing out the public officers. MArvin, you got some explaining to do. Why your name keep coming up in these shady stuff? Bahamas, you all paying attention? Hold on, someone had a question here. What this is? They talking to me? Are you trying to get time off for Curtis, who is locked up in New York? Who are you talking to? Somebody don't mix me up. You can't be talking to me. Anyway, are you talking to someone else? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you working for Michelle Curtis? And that's a fake profile. Homeboy, don't mix me up. One thing I don't do is play. All right? What we trying to do is fix our country from your criminals who defending wrongdoing, who is calling wrong right and right wrong. That's what's wrong with this country right now. That's what we trying to do. Get yourself together with these fake profiles on here. Let me Yeah, so you can keep posting, but that's the question for that's the question for um that's the question for Marvin Dames. All right. So Marvin Dames, you got some explaining to do. All right, and please explain. All right. Now the next part is the situation with Halkitis. Michael Halkitis. I see y'all took y'all stand and said that y'all that you ain't going nowhere. And I know you was really placed there to do the bidding of the PLP. That's why they put you on the company. That's what I feel, to be honest. Um Marquitas, do you know Player's daughter? Yes, you do. We saw her name show up on documents. We saw her name show up on documents. Of course, you would have seen it. We saw her name show up on Top Notch's documents while Player was on there. We saw this name, um, Jafire. I think that's how you pronounce it. I guess that's kind of a play on Jafire, maybe. But Jafire, um, Gardner, as a director on those companies dealing with Player Gardner. And so we saw that. And we saw her on a lot of things that seems to be related to Player. And that's his daughter. I don't mean she did anything wrong, but if she's on these companies, she's not just a child who fathers did something. You're now participating, all right? So she's on top notch company. We've already shown that, um, and I want persons to now see something more interesting about what happened with Jafia, all right? Because um, in 2021, something happened to Jafia Gardiner. Something very interesting happened to her. Now we know she's on players companies, right? Um, but what I'm gonna about to show you is gonna need some serious explanation from Halkitis. Halkitis is saying basically he's disassociating himself. He didn't talk to player. The lawyer talked to him. He don't know what's going on. The player has nothing to do with it. Then we see player was able to come and withdraw money off the company that he was the president of. Um, and that's very concerning and troubling when we see the way they are defending the wickedness that is seemingly going on. All right. Now, I'm going to show you all something. Just trying to pull it up now. Just give me a sec. Um, in 2021, in 2021, okay, let me pull this up for you now. In 2021, the PLP government won the election. Let me move your comments from there so you can see this good. In 2021, the PLP government won the election. All right. Now, Halkitis say, basically he ain't connected to player in no way. But in 2021, the PLP won the election. Halkitis was just a part. He says well, they stopped doing work in 2020 because of the COVID-19. That sounds smarty. That sounds good, but construction was exempted, so there was no reason for them to stop no work. He said that for the slow people to just say, "Oh, they had stopped in 2020." No, no construction company had stopped. He says he stopped in 2021. We don't know that. But what we do know what happened in 2021 was he became the minister responsible for economic affairs in 2021. Remember that? And the first thing the minister responsible for economic affairs has to do is form the Trade Commission. Guess who Alcides put on the Trade Commission? None other than Player Gardner's daughter. This is the government's website that you're looking at. And all of these persons who was appointed was persons related to the PLP and PLPs. No problem with that. Governments do that. You can see Philip Galanis is there. And Pickstock is standing next to him on the right. And we highlighted in green so you can see it good. There is Jafia Gardner. On the Bahamas, who became the Bahamas Trade Commissioners. Left to right? Oh, it's on the small screen. Okay, let me open it up for y'all. Just give me one sec. Thank you. Oh, yeah, it's on the wrong screen. Boom. All right, put it on the big screen for y'all. In fact, let me make mine even smaller. All right, perfect. All right, so how do I get back? Yeah. All right, so let me show you again. These are the persons. Uh, all of them are related to the PLP. I have no problem with that. That's how they do things. The FNM does it too. But here's Eric Gardner's daughter. Halkitis knows who Eric Gardner's daughter is. Halkitis, you appointed Eric Gardner's daughter to the Trade Commission under you in 2021 when you was working for daddy. You could tell me you didn't know that's his daughter? Bahamas Trade Commissioners from 2021 to 2023. From left to right, Ian Cargill, Desiree Bartlett, Senator Barry Griffin, the deputy chairman, Philip Galanis, chairman, Senator Darren Pickstock, and Zafia Gardner. Also, Brickell Pinder. And there's no wrongdoing with these people. I'm just showing you what's going on. But I'm showing you the connection now. So that same Halkitis, as soon as he get in, became the minister responsible for this, and he appoints Eric Player Gardner's daughter to the Bahamas Trade Commission. Maybe y'all mightn't see nothing wrong with this. Maybe, maybe just a coincidence. Maybe. That don't look like no coincidence to me. You was working for daddy. So what is this trade commission responsible now for? Trading drugs? What is responsible for? This is just some notes we put together while doing this. What the records show as it relates to what you've been seeing. Leaving it on the screen for y'all. Made this big. This are our notes, right? A corporate register screenshot lists Jonathan Gardner as president director and Jafia Gardner as secretary director, with both addresses shown as Nassau, Bahamas. The Bahamas Trade Commission's page lists Zafia Gardner as a member of the commission and identifies the commission period 2021-2023. The commission is shown as falling under the Ministry of Economic Affairs, and its function include confidential briefings private meetings with the business community and reports to the minister responsible for trade, which was Halkitis. Michael Halkitis was sworn in as Minister of Economic Affairs in September 2021, after the PLP won the 2016 general election. The appointment appears to have occurred shortly after the change in government, and Zafir remained listed for the 2021-2023 commission period. Why this matters? This is not a minor board. This is a major board in this country. The commission advises the government on trade policy, international agreements, WTO, EU, EPA matters, business concerns, and reports to the minister. If Minister Halkitis says he does not know John and Eric Gardner, then the public deserves to know how Gardner's daughter came to sit on the commission under his ministry so early in the administration. The concern here is transparency, vetting, conflicts of interest, and whether political connections influence appointments to sensitive public bodies. Bahamas, we got a problem. And everything that I am showing you, the international community knows everything. Someone says insider trading. Everything that I'm showing you, the international community is paying attention to. Man, you let's take our country serious, man. This ain't about politics. I promise you all this ain't about election over. This don't benefit us to put this stuff out there, but our country got to make sense, man. Now, if he's going to say that he didn't know anything at all what Halkitis had to say, remember that was COVID time and all that, I want to show you all what Halkitis had to say when she was appointed. Y'all sitting down? All right? Let's make sure. Mr. Halkitis had to say when they was appointed. All right? Halkitis, whoo, my one country they destroying. All right, this is from ZNS. When the appointment happened, the Ministry of Economic Affairs hosted its inaugural meeting for the members of the newly appointed Trade Commission. The meeting was held at the Balmoral Club, Sanford Drive, on Wednesday, July 6, 2022. The newly appointed body includes a cross-section of professionals who represent both New Providence and the Family Islands. Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis, attended the meeting virtually. He congratulated the new members on their appointments and said that they will play a key role in the country's trade sector. I guess maybe mean trading drugs too. Quote, he said, I would like to first congratulate Mr. Galanis and the members of the Trade Commission on your appointments. This is a carefully selected team that represents the diversity that exists in the Bahamas. Pause. Halkitis says, this is a carefully selected team. I repeat, Halkitis says, this is a carefully selected team. Halkitis knew exactly who every single one of them was on this major important body. All we need right now is for the chopper to come. That's Halkitis' words. He knew exactly who everyone on the team was because it was carefully selected. And not only did we find Zafire on top notch and these other companies, there's another company that seems to be connected to Eric Player Garden. It's a new company that the um, the authorities are looking into. All right. Um, and it's another company connected to all of them. Up good for y'all. All right. So there's another company that's connected to them. The company, Lord, let's do this. The company, I'm gonna pull it up right now for y'all. Okay. The company is called All Asset Management and Investment Company Limited. This is another company associated with Player God now. As you can see, this company was formed. Um, let me make this bigger for you. Incorporated in 15th of May 2020. Make sure y'all can see that good. All right. It has the exact same address as Top Notch and the rest of them. Suite number 1, building number 4, Case Village, Center Case Village, West Bay Street. And here we go. Bow Partners and Associates Corporate Services Limited. The same woman. You see? Does Bow people show up again? Little Bow P. Um, this is the company. Okay. Now, here is the persons who formed the company. Is it? The subscribers. Alicia, Bow, and Yvette Hamilton. They're the initial subscribers. All right. Um, look at the shareholding in this company. Jaffa Gardner, out of 5,000 shares, she has 4,999. Alicia Bow has 1 share. And when you look at the directors, the same people on them other companies that we've been showing you on here. The other companies like Top Notch and Complete and all them other companies, PVP. Mark Robinson, director and accountant. Uh, uh, who else? Yeah, Mark Robinson is there as president also. Um, Samson Hill, it's the same Samson who needs to pay those persons who working on the Renaissance right now. You need to go find where that stash is, and pay those persons. Samson Hill, director. Samson Hill named there again as vice president. All right. So Samson Hill, the man who fronting for Eric Gardner and other companies, and you see Mark Robinson there again. Monique Barnaby there as secretary too, and Zafia Gardner is there as a director and executive assistant, and then Zafia Gardner again as assistant secretary in this company. Hold on now, wait. How you own the whole company except for 1 share, but use the assistant secretary? That means you're probably holding those shares for someone. Because there's no way I own a company and I am the assistant secretary, not even the secretary. The assist in what world does that happen? Not even the vice president? You're the assistant secretary? So nephew was holding the shares for the company that owned all those properties in Venice Bay. We hope the seizure process already started with them. But now there's another company that is VAT registered that is clearly connected to other things. And you can see what's going on here again. All right. And this company was incorporated, according to these documents. I don't know what's going on there. Um, According to these documents, this was incorporated while um, Halkitis was the president of Top Notch. Very much connected, the same persons, the same people. Um, I wonder if I'm the only person who's seeing this. And here's where, oh, registration date was not 2020. I don't know why they had this, 2018. All right. Um, and limited by shares. And you can see the same address. The subscribers, Alicia Bow and Yvette Hamilton. The authorized shares is 5,000. 4,999 belongs to Eric Clay Gardner's daughter. And the rest, one, is Alicia Bow, the lawyer. All right. So, and here you can see the VAT registration because we do thorough investigations. Here you can see that VAT registered list. Here, all asset management um, investment company is right there as a VAT registrant. And this is located the same place that, pull up to you right now, the same place that, hold on, I'm trying to get to it. Sorry, I'm skipping through. Oh, yeah, we got something to share with that coming up right now. Oh, Lord, trying to get through this. Okay, let me get it for y'all. This is located in the same place that another company of theirs is located. Oh, there it is. Let me see if I have a better picture. Do I? Okay, we'll give you all this. Here we go. So it's located there. This is actually on the corner. This is on Soldier Road. And so if you're driving east on Soldier Road, as you pass this building, you'll pass a church on the corner by Old Trail Road, and then NCA is right there on that corner also. So this is on the opposite side of the road. That's where this is. All right, this the yellow looking building right on the corner there. All is the good looking building. And so this is where all access is located, and another of their companies, and it is believed that this building, we don't know that. You know, when I know something, I say it, is owned by Player Garden also, but this building is for sale. All right, for $900,000. Like there's some kind of liquidation going on. All right, so that's where this building is, and the more investigators um, um, investigate this situation, there are a lot of people tied up and tangled in this. We've seen signatures of persons who are now part of the judiciary, which is concerning for us. Um, I mean, our country is really broken down as it relates to this. This is so widespread. This crosses the PLP and the FNM. The FNM has no moral standing as it relates to this. This is a serious, serious matter. All right. And so we need something to happen with this. I'm gonna leave the rest for another time. We got a bunch of documents and stuff here, but I'm not gonna go straight into them. The important thing that I want you to get from all of this and what's been going on here, um, and what you've seen today, more connections, more corruption, more hiding. One, the timeline. Jonathan Gardner and his daughter together as directors in 2016. In September 2021, the PLP wins the government. Halkitis is sworn in as Minister of Economic Affairs. In 2021, Jaffe Gardner is listed as a Bahamas Trade Commissioner. Now, Halkitis publicly claims he does not know Jonathan Eric Gardner. How? So this is the hard questions we want to give to all of y'all. Who recommended or approved Zafia Gardner for the Trade Commission? Halkitis. Is that you? If so, time to resign. Was a conflict check or background vetting done before the appointment? Well, clearly it was, because you said this was a specially selected, carefully selected. Did Ms. Halkitis know she was connected to Jonathan Eric Gardner? How could he not? If he did not know, why not? Given the commission reported to his ministry. What questions justified appointing such a young person to a sensitive advisory commission, 26 or 27 at the time, to advise the government? Now, she was educated, she had an education, so there's nothing wrong there. Were any disclosures made to cabinet, the ministry, or the commission? Will the appointment records and vetting documents be released? This is beyond disgusting where this is going. And every week it gets worse and worse. I hope you all got that the company, the shell company that was formed for the government, the Carmichael Village, company that got the $20 million, the shell company, was formed by the same Alicia Bowe. Isn't that conflict? How the lawyer for the PPP man formed the company for the company, the fake company the government formed? You're paying attention? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. All right. But last thing I want to show you all, then I go open the phone lines. Uh, uh, eh, this what you're about to see is the player getting rescued, and he kept that money strapped tied. I mean, tight to him. Um, all you do is let that go, and they might not have caught him because they wouldn't have been suspicious of what he was doing. All right. What did I do? Okay, hold on. So right there, that's player. Why was the Mexican on the boat on the airplane with them? Notice they wouldn't tell you who else was on the plane. Why was the Mexican? Y'all see it? That's player right there with the thing strapped around him in the raft. The fella taking the selfie right there. That's the Mexican. Okay, the picture isn't enough. Okay, then let's play the video. This is the video of player them being rescued. So you can't kill a Mexican. And he was the one filming. And that was, I'm going to play it again. That is the rafts and the helicopter about to come. Now, I can play this one more time, and that's because I want you all to see what he said in the last clip. You see, on there, he said, you can't kill a Mexican. Well, I want you to see what he said at the end, right before the clip cuts. He put some writing under there. So, almost there. See, they say you could drop something in the water right now or jump in the water right now. But anyway, it's about to come. So, right there. I don't know if you can see what that says, but it says, had to get the raft out to save these black people. That's what he said. Had to get the raft out to save these black people. See it there. This Eric Gardner scandal is so serious. This is affecting, now you see, the Trade Commission. Someone who's employed by him is now the Minister of Finance in the country. Can you imagine if he didn't get arrested? How much contracts was going his way? How much money laundering would be going on? The phone lines are open. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. You can call in. Make sure it's not on silent. Yeah, you're good to go. You can call WhatsApp or regular line. 803-5995 is the number. What do you have to say about all of this? Do you disagree with this? Because you don't have to agree with it. You might think that this is a nothing burger, like the hot dog man says. What do you think about all of this? 803-5995 is the number. That's it on the bottom of your screen. 803-5995 is the number. So call us. What do you think? All right. So see, a lot of y'all are on here. What do you think about all these things we discussed today? What do you think about MArvin Dames and his connection? How could he not know? What do you think about Halkitis and his connections to Player's daughter and the appointment of Player's daughter on the Trade Commission? And him saying that that was a carefully selected body. Y'all think it's time to hit the streets yet? But anyway, let's go to the caller. Caller, you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
I have a question in reference to the lawyer, Ms. Bowe.
Yes.
With with forming this company that we're saying is a shell company,
Special
does
purpose
she
vehicle, yeah.
right? With her being a lawyer, can that affect her standing as a lawyer in reference to disbarment?
Well, you only get disbarred when someone makes a complaint, and the persons who could make a complaint are on her side. She clearly is working with the government. She formed the company, and so we never get justice in this country. So that's the answer right now. No,
I see.
not the way it
I
is.
just
We got to
thought,
remove the PLP and the FNM for that to happen.
well, I can tell you we tried hard.
Yeah,
Those of us, we tried hard.
and we're gonna keep
We just
trying.
needed,
Our job is to
yes,
continue to educate the Bahamian people, and that's what we're doing every Sunday. And we're
yes.
going to be victimized for it, but we don't care. We're going to keep moving forward, and we have to keep letting people know. Listen, we were right. If they'd
And
listen,
that's what we've been telling them. And we need more of them are going to come on board the next time because now they're beginning to see that everything we were warning them off has come to pass.
mhm,
That both PLP and FNMs are the same.
yeah,
And
yeah,
now they're beginning to realize, and like you say, don't complain now. You voted for progress, deal with the consequences that comes with that.
yeah. Thank you,
You
man.
got to speak up because we didn't vote for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, God bless you. Yeah. Listen, you voted for it by not voting or for voting with the PLP. Don't cry. Just take it. Don't cry. Suck it up. Call you live. Go ahead.
You're doing spectacular job, sir.
Thank you, man.
Continue the good way. Continue the good way. Don't stop, sir. Like you say, you're informing a lot of us. You have more and more people joining you every day. It's the same gentleman from the restaurant last night, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Listen, do not stop, sir. We love what you do. We watching you live right now. So continue.
Awesome.
Continue the way. That same building you're talking about, I know that building so well. It's
Yeah, man.
amazing. These buildings around what you thinking, people on, and there's other people with on them. These people hiding these things. And they forget God upstairs. Don't worry, God can clean everything up.
Yes.
God can clean everything up, sir.
Thank you, man.
Continue the good work, and we still watching you.
All right. God bless.
All right, sir. All right.
All right. Caller, go ahead.
Pleasant good evening, Mr. Bean. Good evening, Bahamas, DBD Jr.
Good evening.
I just wanted to say to you, and something you mentioned earlier, but before I get to that, I want to say to you, with respect to the work that you're doing, you can either be a deliverer or you can be a freedom fighter. And so I guess Lyndon Pillin himself and his group of individuals has delivered us to a certain extent. And so now you're kind of fighting for freedom with respects to mental conditioning, you see. And that's a lot of work. That's hard work, actually, because now you're dealing with the will of the people. Are you hearing me? So, you have to continue on doing what you're doing. And I think it took maybe 40 years with respects to the wilderness for those minds of those individuals to change. So it can take some time, but continue on doing what you're doing. However, you mentioned something earlier with respects to the Privilege Committee and the chairman of
No, not the privilege, the PAC.
the PAC.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying something about the Committee of Privilege.
No, the Public Accounts Committee.
It was the Public Accounts Committee.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with respects to the Public Accounts Committee, and it was about cameras and the whole thing being public, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I learned, what is really your view on that? Because I think you're saying that the chairman, who is the Honorable Michael Pintard, can just plug the cameras in because he have full control. Is that what you're saying?
quoted a scripture last time that talked about it being private or not being private. Select committees.
Right.
He is the chair of the committee, and
Yes.
the Speaker of the House quoted the law that says that they have the final say. Her in the House of Assembly, and
Hmm.
him him in that the chairman of any committee has the final say, and that's to give them authority. All right. I also said to you that even if that is a rule, there's a time for everything. All
Yeah, and
right.
you were saying that I got you, yeah. But I wanted to add here with respects to um, the chairman of any committee, because the committee and the precinct is like a creature, um, and at the end of the day, I know that it's always a process with respects to those committees. They are really private, and you want them to become public. And I know the process to be the chairman, I guess, requesting or making known that he wanted to be public, and then the committee as a group have to agree on that, right? And once they agree on that, then majority rule, and then they have to motion the House, and so the House have to vote now for this thing to become private. I mean, for this thing, sorry, to become public or to have public broadcasting and so on and so forth, then you have to then now deal with the speaker and the broadcasting committee. That's a different committee. You got the broadcasting committee in there too. You got to deal
Now,
with them too.
hold on. All of these round the world stories that you're going with, it doesn't necessarily work like that. And we don't have to spend much time on this because if the leader of the opposition was strong, he
Hmm.
would do what he has to do and let them sue him and
Yeah, I got
take
you on
him
that
to
part there.
court. It's
Yeah,
simple
I
as
remember
that.
that. I got you on that part right there. But I
Martin Luther
just wanted
King
to
was not in
say,
charge of the restaurant or the law, and he said, when we can't eat in here, lock us up.
yes,
We can eat in
yes, that
here.
was your view. Yeah, that exactly was your point on that.
And
That he should
so
just
what
go
I'm
ahead
saying
and
is
go with that, do
he
it that way.
has all say as it relates to what happens in that committee. Just like a judge can determine if they're gonna allow cameras in the court or not allow cameras in the court.
What
All right?
I'm saying is he don't have that power.
He does have the power. And anyone who has a problem with what he is doing has to take it to court. Let them take it to court. In the meantime, he will be exposing what is going on and
I
subpoenaing in
remember a
person.
case. Yes, I
Listen,
remember a
this is not the
situation.
time for weak leadership.
No, I got you on that.
There
I
is the
remember.
law. Hold on. There's the law, and then there's the spirit of the law. And there's
That's right.
many times when they went to court and they said, okay, the law literally says that, but that's not the spirit of the law.
You're
All right?
absolutely
The
right.
spirit of the law is that the chairman of a committee is supposed to be untouchable, influenced by no one else outside that committee. That's why they're telling him in the House, you can't talk with whatever because that's sub judice because of the power of that committee. All right? They're not influenced by anybody else.
Yeah, it's
And the
private.
same way, like with the courts. The courts is sub judice because you can't have the House of Assembly interfering, a separation of power, interfering with the courts. That's why what she read was that if anything is happening in the court, you can't discuss it in the House of Assembly. That's for separation of powers. The committee has the same kind of powers. And what he could do is let them go to court and test the spirit of the law. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I remember in 2015
Yes, Terry
and
Christie and Euban Ingram, that
2016.
happened there, where they
Right.
tested
Yeah,
it.
but
And
they
even though the law
exactly
said
did.
one thing, they said that wasn't the spirit of the law. Even though the law said one thing as it relates to a Bahamian parent,
There
a
was a
Bahamian
ruling.
father
There was an
being able to
injunction though.
pass on, being able to pass on his citizenship. They said, yeah, the law says that, but that's not the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law is equality. And so they changed it, and now all you have to do is get a DNA, despite what the Constitution said.
I'm talking about a different situation. When you had G. Moss and Nico Grandin and Loretta Butler Turner, them was sitting on the committee with the, remember the doctor when he's talking about some bribe allegations and different things like that? It was two different situations, and then you had another thing with Save the Bay. You understand? And Fitzgerald them. You understand, right? And so it was a whole situation with the committee and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, it was a whole process to the point that the court, also the Supreme Court, have a say, because the Supreme Court could shut it down. You understand? The Supreme Court could provide an injunction and shut the whole thing down, that nothing could be spoke about
No,
or speak about inside.
that is not the law. The law specifies that the chairman of a committee and the speaker of the house does not have to answer to any court in this country. All right, they don't have to answer to them. That's where the problem comes in. Why I'm saying that they will have to take them to court, but they don't have to. I have to be careful how I word this.
Yeah, you contradicting yourself.
I'm not
the court, if you're taking something to court, if you're taking something to court,
you gonna let me
the
talk
Supreme,
or not?
Go ahead.
And so I'm saying to force them to take it to court. Now, if the speaker makes a decision, the court can't go against her decision. All right? Unless it's ultra virus. All right? But she has all say, because of separation of powers, the court can't interfere with her, and because she represents Parliament and or the president of the Senate, and vice versa. All right? And so that's what's called separation of powers. You see?
Yeah, I understand the separation of powers.
That's where it comes in. The head of a committee has certain powers that has not been tested because they've never really used committees here. In America, anything that goes on, they could have a select committee at any time. They will bring, if they don't like what's happening on social media, they will bring those social media people in front of them, and they have to come or they go to jail. Any situation going on in the country, they don't wait for no inquiry. They don't wait for anything else. They bring them in the Senate or the House will bring them and say, listen, and answer, make them answer questions. All right, and then subpoena documents. You're seeing it happen right now.
Let me say this to you, and then
the House of Assembly here has the same powers to have select committees on any matter that is going on. They could have a select committee right now on BC until BC come. They could have a select committee on this player gardener thing, and they could tell them come. Now, Pintard could use the PAC to summons every document, every person involved, all the stuff that we're revealing, and that media is given to Pintard so he could ask his questions and write his letters. Everything that's happening, because the public purse was involved, the PAC, Michael Pintard, who's the chairman of that, can subpoena anybody. He could subpoena Joe Kobe Davis and make us sit down and say, why did this happen? Where's the money for the $20 million? He can do that right now. But he doesn't want to do it because they know that stuff could come out with them.
I see.
He said he was gonna take the Speaker of the House to court. You see that happen yet?
Right, that's the process. Let me just say this, and then I can let some other people call. Remember, there was a pushback concerning Save the Bay. You remember that? And there was a subjudicial ruling, and the Supreme Court injunction barring disclosure of their private emails. You remember that? I say that to say to you that the courts, the Supreme Court,
that was not. Hold on, that was not the Speaker or the chairman of a committee. That was Jerome Fitzgerald. That was not the Speaker.
I'm telling you that it went to a committee. So I'm addressing it from the committee perspective to show you that the Supreme Court could shut down things that goes to the committee.
They cannot shut it down. The Supreme Court is not the final say. The Supreme Court has been wrong on many occasions.
I got you.
It go to appeals court and they say, the Supreme Court, what y'all talking about? It's wrong. Or the appeal court could be wrong too, and that's why I have the Privy Council. And they look at it, they say, hold on, what y'all did down there? All right? So they have no power. It's my opinion talking about all this.
I got you.
Over them. And so Michael Pintard has powers he don't understand. And that's why when the lady read that foolishness to him about something being before the courts, that they can't discuss it, that's absolute garbage. And because all of them are not knowledgeable, they just sit right there with their tail between their legs and let her get away with that nonsense. That's out of order. We paying them to get this thing right. And if they need, look at all the speakers of the house who was in there for them, who could advise them, man. How much lawyers in that party? How much educated people? You mean to tell me Pintard and them means sitting down and getting advice, Lincoln being know the law and they don't know it?
Oh yeah, I ain't getting in that part right there, but I can say this to you: at the end of the day, you're doing a good job. Everybody trying to do what they could do to make the Bahamas a better place. But you're a freedom fighter, and I want you to know at the end of the day, you fighting a major fight because you're fighting against a conditioning of the minds of the Bahamian people. And at the end of the day, these people have self-will. God give it to us, and so that's a real fight. But keep educating the people. You're doing an excellent work.
Thank you, man. All right, 803-5995, that is the number right there. 803-5995 is the number. I know I let him talk long, but a different thing. But what do y'all think about all the stuff that y'all are seeing, what discovered today, other days? I know this is a lot, so there's no way we could do this there's no way we could do this in no one episode. There's so much. We haven't even revealed 1% of 1% of what is out there. There's so much, and like I said, the U.S. authorities know about all of this, and we got to fix our country. It's just simple as that. All right. So 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. Y'all get your questions in. If someone disagrees, come. Let's talk about it now. If someone, if any trolls are out there and they have any questions, because what they do is they go on social media to try to distract people and twist whatever, because they don't want the answers. They don't want it to be answered. They want to put something out there, so people could be unclear, and they don't have the courage to come during the live and say what they have to say, and so. This is your chance to get your questions answered if you agree. Someone says we are broken badly. This person here says, what can of rubbish Lincoln just told Mr. Benjamin? I don't know. You can explain what you feel is rubbish that we told Mr. Benjamin. That would actually help. I think what we said to Mr. Benjamin is our opinion of the law. All right. And so there's separation of powers. One has no power over the next. And so that's what the law is. And so a lot of things have not been challenged in law. And so we think if certain things get challenged, you will see what's really going on out there. All right. So some of the this is why they ain't traveling. Lincoln has electricity, eh? Yeah, a lot of people don't have electricity, so they're gonna have to watch this afterwards. It's a shame that we have come to this, but we voted for it. Like I said, don't cry. The U.S. authorities know about it. How is our present government hasn't addressed it? Good question. All right, caller. Let's get this caller in. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Bain. How are you? This is Jillian Bartlett.
Awesome, Miss Bartlett. Go ahead.
I want to get right to the point because you gave us a lot of information and you also gave us a lot of names and people who could be connected. My question to you is, right, and I don't like to complicate things. Halkitis. So Halkitis stood up wherever he stood up on whatever platform, whether it was the breaking news at the time or in the House of Assembly, saying that he actually had no association with or didn't form a company because he denied. So which one is it? Because you proved to us that association was clear. But I wasn't certain about the company formed under him at the time, how clear that was.
Which company are you talking about? You mean that shell company?
He's the Shell company, I guess.
Michael
Halkitis?
Village
Is that
that
connected?
got the $20 million.
Right. I want to know about that 20 million too.
Yeah, that
So,
company, that shell company, that was formed. I mean,
mhm,
like so many things. We know what was going on. All right, all of them know what's going on. We don't even
mhm,
need to be rocket scientists to understand this. Everyone was complicit. The F&M, because Carl Bethlehem know what they was doing for Eric Gardner before election,
mhm, mhm,
dealing with all his properties and all that. So they in essence helped this man launder his money with properties that was being bought and sold and
right.
whatever else was happening. All right, I'm not going to
Mhm.
sugarcoat it. That's how everything
No,
looks
I
to
don't accept
me.
that. Mhm,
All right, so yes, the PLP initially signed the contract, but the F&M had to put this into execution. They had to put this forward, and
mhm.
they could have stopped it like they stop other stuff. But of course, the Attorney General was now the man's former lawyer.
This
You
bold
only
lady.
seeing this mix up? Carl Bettel became the Attorney General, and player was straight.
Wow.
He on the
So,
cabinet.
Halkitis.
Michael
That's the one I
Folks.
want to know about.
Say again?
Halkitis is the one I want to know because he was the one who spoke publicly that he has nothing to do with this or something he said.
We are
He
showing
formed
the
companies or
associations
you
piece by
showed,
piece.
you showed where by association. You showed the pictures and everything. The man's name there, they're all there together, shaking out on something, agreeing on something. So Halkitis is the one who blatantly lied to the public.
Yeah, he has
Okay,
to resign.
now we know.
He has to
Now we
resign.
know. That's all I want. I want clarity. I don't want no big discussion about, this one did this one did that. I just want direct
And they
clarity.
ended the
And I
house
got it.
early because they don't want
Mm-hmm.
to answer to this. And so they are now taking the voice away from
Out.
Michael
Out.
Pintard and
No.
them,
Out. Mm-hmm.
and they are hoping that everyone won't be watching me, and the media won't be covering what I'm doing or even crediting us for what is being exposed. And so they're hoping
Right.
that most people won't hear what's going on. And so it's going to be up to
Mm-hmm.
every Bahamian listening to this to spread the word. Don't talk about nothing else. Don't let them distract you with all them other
Mm-hmm.
talks. Talk about what
Yeah.
you see on the
Well,
live. That's why we do this every Sunday and get it the truth out there.
mm. Well, we ain't worrying about no credit because we already know what's been
No, we ain't
exposed.
worrying about that.
And that's why they don't want. Yeah, we don't worry about things like that because we have other media ways to get the message out, and
Yeah.
it's out.
All right.
Okay?
Let me take this other call. Oh, we missed
All
them.
right then.
All right, but thanks
Take
for your
care.
call. 803-5995 is the number. 803-5995. You can regular call or WhatsApp call. 803-5995 is the numbers. All right. And so, any questions about all of this that you saw? What do you think about this? MArvin Dames, the F&M. How progress looking? Lights still out. Boy, you all enjoy it. What Leslie said the last time he was in, your egg is sweat. I mean, they say these cold things, and Bayman still vote for them. Still vote for them. He telling you your egg is sweat and he ain't paying his light bill. He owe them $500,000 and he telling you all egg is sweat. And people say, yeah, but I like Leslie. Leslie, he used to bring the backhoe and push down the bush. The things that impress Bahamians. We got to do better. All right, that's it. We ain't getting no more calls. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another one. We're going to continue next week. We know that a lot of people don't have their power right now. So, even when you get off this live, share, share, share. Make sure the Bahamian public knows exactly what's going on. Don't listen to the trolls and their lies. Ignore them. Don't call me asking me if nothing is true. They are paid to lie. All right. Every time we have a big exposure like this, they make up some new story. They are paid to lie. That's what they do. All right. So and they are going to attack. They're going to sit down and let us just educate you all just like that. And so expect it. It's coming. All right. But don't be moved by it. Let's just keep doing what is right. So no matter what they say with me, that don't justify them money laundering with our public money, taking children's uh, scholarship money to give to a drug dealer, the money launder, paying this a loan, $20 million loan in the bank, but they paying the staff in cash. Yo, y'all see what's going on? Would y'all like that, eh? Just some people throw their hands up in the air and say, what you could do? Well, I can tell you that the Coalition of Independence is going to continue to fight for the betterment of this country. We're going to continue to fight for this country. It's the only country we got. You're going to get hit with more taxes. You're going to see more things happening in short order. They're going to do all the bad things early because they know you can forget by the time of the election. All right? And so we need you to wake up. Wake up, Bahamas. There's so many Bahamians who have come to us since the election and said they didn't vote because they didn't think there was any profit to it. But now they're going to be supporting the COI. Call you live. Go ahead.
I was trying to figure out on that Colina deal. Think we could touch on that briefly. I'll hang up and listen.
Mm-hmm. Listen. Thank you, caller. Thank you. I was supposed to bring it up in the beginning, but I was trying to rush through and forgot that. The Bahamas government pays for insurance for government workers. All right, certain government workers. Colina is owed, you're sitting on, over $100 million. We actually have the document to show that, but I don't have time to go through everything right now. They're owed over $100 million. All right? And so with being owed over $100 million, they've decided eventually, they were trying to make it drag out till after election. You know, the government probably tell them, wait till after election, whatever. Election came and gone, they ain't get straight, so they had to do something. All right? And so, let me just put the caller on hold. Caller, hold the line, you're next. I just got to explain this thing. Hold on one sec. All right, so let me tell you what the sad part about this is. Thank you, man. Well, let me tell you what the sad part about this is. Let me tell you how wrong this is. If you have an insurance, you're listening? If you have an insurance and you don't pay your insurance, it is not suspended and restarted. It's lapsed. It's canceled. Insurance done. What is this? It's suspended and restarted. That is unfair to the rest of the people who put into the insurance pool. That makes it unequitable and unfair. I don't care who it is, whether it's the government or not. The government should pay. And so if the government is not putting in their fair share for this health insurance, like the rest of us, that means that they are not contributing and taking the same risk that we take in. Do you see? Everyone put into the pool. And if someone gets sick, they get out the pool. But if the government can operate without putting into the pool, it's not fair. I don't even think that that is legal. Do y'all understand? So this suspended and restarted thing, that's garbage. The government needs to fulfill their obligation. And here's where it gets serious. How you mean to tell me you went over for beaches and parks by $141 million? That's the overage. The budget was $30 million. So this $170 million. You owe them $100+ million. I have the actual numbers. And you put that towards a park budget, and we don't see where these parks in good shape. Okay, we lost that caller. You put that towards the parks budget and didn't pay the insurance for the most critical people working in the country. Police, people who are in the most danger. The teachers who are at risk for getting sick because they're dealing with all these different people from all over the place. No insurance. Teachers, police, defense force, customs. Customs meeting the people at the gate. They meeting the people coming into the country. All I want right now is for them to have, they like have cabinet in other places, like how they had it in Freeport. I need you to have cabinet in Miami, please. Just one cabinet meeting in Miami. I want to see that. Why no one traveling? Let me see, let's chat about the prison and the hospital. Ah, my God. What do we say? We had plans for a wonderful health city. We had one of the biggest health companies in the world ready to come in if we won the election. They don't want to work under PLP and F&M. But people chose to either not vote or to vote for the PLP. I know they cheated, and we haven't heard from anyone yet about this court thing. And we've paid, and we filed for this court matter for the leave to have the election court. What's up? Is it hearing it? What am I missing? They say my phone malfunctioning. No, this ain't ringing. Okay. Tell whoever it is, keep calling. All right. So, what is there to talk about? We just need the PLP and the F&M gone. The F&M is now discussing removing Pintard and putting Andre Rawlins there. Senior F&Ms have expressed that to me. And Lincoln Deal. But, okay, what the difference could be? What's the difference? We need real change, man. Real change. All right, real change. A person's calling person two with me and saying that they ain't getting through on the phone. I don't understand. The phone right here and it isn't ringing. All right, call you live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Brother.
Good afternoon.
You know, we have to be ever so careful as Bible students on what we say about people, because not everything on the surface means exactly what it is. And somewhere in our Bible, Brother Ben, it tells us we must not bear false witness against our neighbors.
Yes.
It also tells us we be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Yes.
You know, my mom told me something when I was growing up, and I'm sort of understanding that now. She says, son, silence is golden. And there's the time to speak, and there's the time not to speak. There are a lot of young men in prison today based on false information. The government of America is running something on Mr. Gardner. I think right now, if you put Mr. Gardner in a position where he's guilty and not proven innocent. A few years ago, Brother Bean, I was arrested on American Airlines and didn't know until I got to the States. And when I got to the States, the person flashed their badge on me. So we'd like to have a word with you. Do you believe they're trafficking drugs between your country and our country? Said, no problem. So they said, so they checked me out, they didn't find nothing. And that happened twice since I was traveling to the States. They didn't find the last time they stopped me. They said, would you like to work along with us? We'd like you to see if you could find anyone in the Bahamas who's doing anything they should not do when it comes to drugs. I would like to be one of our informants. So I took their number. You know what I did? I went to a Christian bookstore and I bought them 10 Christian books. I said, over here by Jennings on such a road, come on by. And they came running. Well, where do you got something like that? I got some, I got some hope for you because I don't do dope. And they haven't bothered me since. So we got to be very careful of these sensationalized things because in the judgment we can give it a call for every word we speak. And if it ain't so, God forbid we find ourselves in the kingdom of hell. That's all I call to say, Brother Ben.
Let me before you go, let me help you with something. Let me help you with something very clear. You are a private citizen. What you do is none of our business. All right? If you sell drugs, that ain't our business. That's nothing to do with us. If you make a mistake in your life, that's nothing to do with us. The courts could deal with you, and that ain't our business. We don't need to be dealing with that. But if you are getting government contracts, that's our business. If we are paying you on a $56 million in rent, that's our business. If we don't have a Freedom of Information Act, the Lincoln Bean and the COI is going to be the Freedom of Information Act. Okay? We have to stand up for our country that is being run incorrectly. The people have to stand up. We have to do something. We can't sit down and see stuff going wrong. The politicians won't answer any questions. They saying it's a nothing burger. They walking away from the media while they're talking, not answering the people, and no one must say anything. God does not like that. The Bible says that if someone is committing a sin and you see it and you don't say something, then you are also guilty of that sin. That's what my Bible says. I don't know about yours.
I agree with you, Brother Ben, but the problem is, how do we know people? Okay, you brought this thing up a government contract, right? Now, the government contracts are given to people on both sides of the divide. But in 1 Samuel chapter 8, I want you to listen to read it. In 1 Samuel chapter 8, God told us to leave these governments alone. He said, I will be your government. Our citizenship is in heaven. And in 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 18, here's what the Bible says. And when you cry out in that day, when the king you have chosen you, I, God, will not hear you. And here we are. See, my citizenship is in heaven. God takes
My brother, you mixing up the children of Israel and the arrangement God had with them, with us. There's nothing to do with us. All right? God wanted a king for them who was coming. They said they wanted a king like the rest of the people they wanted today. God was talking to them at the time. Don't mix up the Bible because I am a theologian. I'm a master theologian. So don't mix up the Bible to the Bahamian people. God wants accountability. God hates people taking bribes. God hates government corruption. God hates the oppression of the people. And the voices of the people are crying out right now to the heavens because Bahamians are being beat down in this country. Man get locked up for billing on crown land while the Haitians billing all over this country. And the foreigners coming here taking all our houses and billing and getting every advantage. And we must shut up. That's a drug dealer. Hold on. I am going to speak the truth. Who don't like it too bad? Y'all know what y'all could do to me or try to do to me. A drug dealer got government contracts with no proper oversight, and our country's money is being used to launder drug money. I will stand in front of the throne of grace on top of the mountaintop and say that is wrong. I ain't talking about no one private business, you know. I don't care about your personal business. Plenty drug dealers out there. I ain't talking about their business. But as it relates to our public funds and our public finances, we have a duty to speak out when the government is doing wrong. Because if we don't, we are saying we okay with it. Go ahead, my brother.
But how do you know the money that's being used is drug money? Where do you get the information from?
This the first live you's watching, eh?
How do you know the money that's being used is drug money? Where you get that
Hold
information
on.
from?
Is this the first live you watched, or you watched some more?
I watch many, but today, you know something, let me call in and just say this on the record. Maybe not for you, but for everyone else who's listening. How do you know the money that's being used is drug money?
I gotta go over information in several lives to explain all of that to you. I think the Bahamian people understand exactly what's going on. My brother, the man was arrested for drug dealing and money laundering. When he was arrested for drug dealing and money laundering, they did not, in this country, seize his assets like what happened to 90 Knowles. They took 40 million of his money to make sure when he does come out, he doesn't use that to now go into business and wash his money. That never happened with this gentleman. All right, he came back to the Bahamas and continued to do what he was doing, and all of a sudden, all of this criminal activity continued, and buildings were being done. What I'm saying is that it is the job of the authorities to check. When he was released from jail in America, they should have seized everything he owns. All right? He bought a bunch, with not showing where he had any other income. He bought, scores of properties in gated communities in this country. Cash. All right? That is typical. Hold on, I'm going to let you talk, but you asked me a question. That is typical of what drug dealers do to hide money. Instead of putting it in the bank, they just buy property and hold on it. All right? And now these properties are being sold and other stuff is being done. What they need to do is a proper investigation. All we can do is speculate because they are not investigating, my brother. All right? This is what needs to happen. And we have to hold the government's foot to the fire. If they were investigating, listen, I don't have nothing to say because that's their job to investigate. If they was having a commission of inquiry, I don't have nothing to say. Let's watch the commission of inquiry. But they ain't doing nothing but ignoring it. That shows guilt, my brother.
Brother Dan, actually, I go back to my question and ask you, how do you know the money that a man is spending is drug money?
Say that one more time for me.
How do you know the money that you allege that Mr. Gardner is spending is drug money? How do you know it's drug money? Do you know where you get it from?
Because he's a drug dealer.
No, that doesn't mean that, Brother Dan. Brother Dan, I have a company, right?
Yeah.
That gets funds from people that run the company. I don't know who these people from month in the morning. I have to play every day.
Are you a drug dealer? Are you a drug dealer?
Listen to me, Brother Dan.
Let me tell you how the banking system works. If you are charged with drugs, they take away your bank account. All right? They can't take the chance that your money is from drug dealing. And so your accounts are seized. But what we saw in this case was that a man he wasn't charged with drug dealing, no. He was charged as a major money launderer that they wrote about. All right? That this is a major thing in affecting the society in this region. All right? He wasn't a normal drug dealer. He wasn't someone who just smuggled some drugs across. They saw him as a major drug dealer and money launderer at the time when he went to jail. And so coming back here, he should not have been able to form some companies and then just continue on doing what he was doing. The banks should not have done business with him in the first place. I know many persons who was charged with drugs who were not allowed to just have bank accounts. There was no accountability in this case. And we have to fix our country and clean up. We can't go back to the 80s, my brother.
Brother Dan, are you loud and clear? But my question still remains. How do you know the money you spend in 2026 or 2024, 25 came from drug money? How do you know that?
My brother, because he's a drug dealer. You understand what I mean?
You might know something I don't know. So tell me how you know, Mr. Guy, the money you're spending today or whenever you spend the money, it came from drugs. How do you know that?
Because he's a drug dealer.
No, brother.
All right, let me help you understand money laundering. Let me help you understand money laundering. Any money, if he's a drug dealer and he has drug money, he isn't allowed to operate with that drug money and do some other clean business and say, oh, but this money didn't come from that. You're not allowed to operate in our system. All right? Because your money is you are connected to both sets of money. And so the whole thing is defiled. That's why when you get charged with drugs, they say you can't have a bank account because you and your money has been defiled. Now, if he had been charged with money laundering, paid a fine, paid his time, then he could have started the cleanup process, but that never happened because he was in with the politicians. Let me tell you what happened to Sebastian. Even though what they was doing was criminal before, You see what they had to do before they could legalize it? They say you all have to pay millions of dollars in fines, all right, for the gambling part of it. And because they paid their due, all right, then they could come back now and say, well, I didn't pay my due, we good. But he did not pay his due because he wasn't only running drugs in America, he was running drugs here too. And he could have been charged in the Bahamas too. And his stuff could have been seized, like 90 stuff was seized. All right? But if he could just come back, no repercussions, because you don't know if he didn't take that same money, the same properties that was bought with drug money, if you don't know what's going on, you can't just let him come and have government contracts, man. If the drug dealer want to go and buy a house, do that's fine. Yeah, that happens. We ain't worrying about that. But where do your money from drugs or not? That ain't our business. That's the court's business to deal with. But if you're using our money, if you're using drug money to build buildings, to get our money, to launder the money, that's wrong, man. That's wrong. All I'm asking for, I let you talk, but all I'm asking for is for our system to do what's right, for our politicians to do what's right. Put proper investigation. What is all this investigation about? Why nothing coming out of it? Because everyone is involved.
See, you don't believe first time that still stands. But in marching for Christ, in marching by every word that was said from the mouth of God from Genesis to Revelation. And what you are arguing right now was prophesied in First Samuel 8. There ain't nothing changing, but even if you get power, it can be the same thing. Because God don't lie.
You say ain't nothing changing?
Ain't nothing changing. But man, I tell you, I want you to win so bad.
My brother, hold on.
Hold on,
One sec.
Let me tell you why point then I get the next thing.
Go ahead.
I want to show people that first time it stands from now that Jesus Christ come. It ain't changed. Don't care who government going power. It ain't changing.
My brother, you say who government go in power? The same government in power. Let me tell you something. You don't.
I don't work for none of the party.
Okay, we know that. Okay, fine. Let me say something. You don't do things to win. You do things because it's the right thing to do. If I see someone attacking your daughter on the street, whether I believe I could beat that man or not, I am going there to fight and defend your daughter. Maybe she could run. Maybe she get a couple more seconds of freedom. But I'm going to defend your daughter. I'm going to make sure that whether that big man who beating up or not, like I saw a video where the woman was going in a bus and a fella came and started beating her and breaking her up. And some people were just watching someone put out the camera. No, that ain't me. We are doing this because we choose to do this. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. I don't care if we win. What's happening in this country is wrong. And I'm going to speak out against what is wrong.
It's happening the world over, brother man.
Say again?
What's happening here is happening the world over. Even if you say, let me take you back in time.
My brother, I don't want to go through all that. Listen, it doesn't matter. So that's like saying because people getting raped in every country in the world, we should just let the rapists just rape. Don't do nothing. Because people selling drugs all over the world, just let them do it. Because it's corruption in every country, just let the politicians do whatever they want to do. You still have to stand up for what is right. It doesn't matter what everyone else doing, my brother. We can stand up. But anyway, everyone else could not stand up. You could sit down and watch what's happening. We choose. Listen, if you want to sit down and watch, you sit down and be quiet and don't interrupt us in standing up for what's right. If your house burning down, but not because the house can't get saved, mean I ain't coming in there to help you get your baby and your puppy and whatever out the house. I can still do what is right, my brother. All right. Thanks for your call, man. Yeah, I appreciate your call. The line's open now if someone was trying to call in. Let me make this clear to people who don't understand how this thing works. I am not doing this because I feel like it defeat the whole system and whatever else people think this is. I doing this because this right, bro. This right. I'ma just sit down and see drug dealers getting billions, and laundering money with our money, and don't say nothing. Not on my watch, bro. Say what you want to say with me. That ain't happening with me watching. Go ahead, call your live.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Bean. How are you, sir?
Awesome, man.
Listen to me, man. You're wasting your time with a biblical numbskull, biblically illiterate. I know this guy. This guy is a 7 days Adventist guy. This guy, when it comes, he doesn't vote. He doesn't vote. He quoting scriptures that has nothing to do with dealing with governing. And God has set up governors and government in every country. How he does it? He does it through the people. We know that 1 Samuel chapter 8 talks about the prophet Samuel when God was the ruler, sovereign ruler over Israel. They said they don't want a king. They wanted a king like the other nation. And God turned it over to the people. In time past, he used to set up kings because Israel was run by kings. This guy, he doesn't vote. Okay, he has, I think, the same guy who has a radio 7 days Adventist. He's a sick guy. He's a sick, deranged, biblically illiterate guy. So he has no authority to speak. He doesn't vote, never vote in this country. And he just a carnal guy who takes scriptures out of context and doesn't know what he's saying. And so he's talking about, but let me educate him and the public. God set up in Romans chapter 13, 1 through 4. This is what God says. He said, let all souls be subject to the higher power. All power that be is ordained by God. Do this, the range guy understand this? He ordained the authority in the earth. We choose who we want to sit in the seat of authority to rule over our country. The people, the power was turned over to the people. So when you have persons like this calling into the show, he has nothing to say. He never voted in this country. And he don't care about this country, and he used the word out of context and doesn't know what he is saying. God sets up government according to 1 Timothy chapter 2, 1 through 5. He sets supplication, prayer, thanksgiving be made for all men. And then he talks about kings. Must pray for them. Why is they sitting in the seat of authority? And all those that sits in the seats of authority. So we must pray for those because we are the one who choose persons and sit them in the seat of authority to govern our country and to make it better for our lives. And so when this guy talking about we should not get in government, he talking nonsense. He don't know what he's talking with by the band. And you sat there, I mean, I know you wanted to hear everyone and talk. It got me real angry, and godly anger in me when I hear the nonsense and the numbskullness and the biblical illiteracy coming out of this this guy. I think his name is I don't want to call his name, but the situation is.
But we don't have to go into all that with him. We have to go into all that with him. He already had enough attention.
Okay, but let me say this to you, Brother Ben. Listen, to all of you who are listening and persons around the world, every country is run by a government. And the system that is in the world today was set up by God. In essence, authority. Government is authority and was set up by God. It is clear, Romans 13, 1 through 4. And he said, like, they are his ministers, and he gave them a sword to execute the sword on them that do evil. And the Bible said we ought to pray for those who in authority that we may live a peaceable life in 1 Timothy 2, 1 through 5. So when persons talking about government and they don't understand that we need government, but we need the kind of government who sits in the seat of authority, who will govern this country in righteousness and not corruption. And let me say to you, Brother Ben, my brother, what you are doing, it take a real man. It take a man of God. It takes someone who has integrity to expose the evil, the old ancient spirit of corruption. You see, there's three powerful truths about money. The power of money to answer all things. the love for money, it births a spirit of greed, and it the cause of all evil. And so, my brother, what you're doing, I standing 100% with you. And guess what? And the big people of common sense, which is the highest degree, they are with you. They understand what you're saying. Halkitis need to resign. And the prime minister of this country, Philip Brave Davis, if you listen to me, I'm going to tell you something. You need to fire Halkitis. If you don't fire him, according to the information that Mr. Bain has released, it is out there in the public. It's around the world. It's there. You can read it. Your job as a prime minister, when you have persons tied into corruption, then you must do the right thing. We as an organic seed behemoth, we want you to do the right thing. Tomorrow, call Halkitis in. Ask him to resign, or you fire him. If you don't, then it shows what type of person and where your integrity, if you have anything. So I'm saying to you, Mr. Prime
Thank you,
Minister,
man.
do your job. Fire him. God
Thank
bless you
you.
and have a beautiful day.
All right. I am. And someone asks why we keep doing this, why we keep going, etc., etc. I like what Neo said to Mr. Anderson. I'm gonna play it up for you.
Do it. Why? Why get up? Why keep fighting?
You can't win. It's pointless to keep fighting. Why, Mr. Anderson? Why? Why do you persist?
Because I choose to.
So if you want to know why I keep fighting, it's because I choose to. Because it's the right thing to do. Cowards fight only when they know they're going to win. David didn't know he was going to be Goliath. He did because it was the right thing to do despite who was standing in front of him. And I am, in the spirit of David, going to continue to do what is right, despite what is standing in front of me. Why do I keep doing it? Because I choose to. Now, you could choose to just sit down like the slaves and say, ain't nothing could change. Didn't slavery eventually end? All we got to do is keep fighting. It's the last call I could take, y'all. Call you live. Go ahead.
Well, again, what's the date? I have been listening to you for a little while now, and I know you said something a few weeks ago about that team being the best investigators. I probably need your assistance to investigate something for me.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so how do I get in contact with you all to do an
The
investigation?
same number, 803-5995 is the number, and you can just send a text if we get a lot of calls. But so just send a text, and then you can keep calling until you get us.
Tomorrow or?
Yeah, tomorrow. Don't call me on my Sunday. I could be with the family.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. Listen, man, I got people that's called me 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I literally had a fella call me that time in the morning and asked me about something, just talking with something with just general stuff. I was like, you couldn't, what you telling me now that you couldn't tell me 9 o'clock in the morning? Like, seriously. And he's like, yeah, I know you just be busy, and I thought this would be the best time, to get you before everyone else start calling. I'm like, oh God. Yeah, I gotta have a life too, y'all. All right, so yeah, so there's a lot of people trying to call, a lot of people reaching out. I cannot get to everyone. Some people get offended because they can't reach me, but it's so many people. Sometimes they have to put my phone on do not disturb because I can't get nothing done if I just on the phone all day. So y'all please have a heart. We doing this for free out of the goodness of our hearts, and when we help people, we just help people out of the goodness of our hearts. All right, and so, but I can't, I still got my family to deal with and that kind of stuff. I can't, I still gotta go on dates and do stuff. You want me to get married, right? So don't call me at any time. All right. So, because I can't explain certain things. You can imagine you with someone and your phone ringing 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the night. How you explain that? Yeah, but I know that's what we sign up for. But let's just keep it reasonable during this time, so we could continue to work and fight for the Bahamian people. All right. Again, it continues, and we will continue to do what we have to do. You're gonna see them rising up against us. You're gonna see the send the trolls and that kind of stuff. And guess what? Any one of them rise up against us, we'll focus our efforts on them. You gotta worry about that. That's why they send in the trolls. You see? But I think we can start cutting down the trolls one by one, getting their foot soldiers out of here. All right? Because this a war in our country in trouble, so we gotta do what we have to do. All right? So we gotta do what we have to do. So let's continue to fight. Y'all continue to stay tuned, to be educated. By now, you would have been benefiting from your natural resources, but instead, you got more taxes and more sufferation. But that's what we allowed to happen. So y'all just stay tuned. Let's keep doing this. I do this because I love you. You hear me? I do this because I love you. I do this because I love my country. So no one is going to tell me to sit down and watch my country go to the dogs. No one can tell me because it's the end times. You must just sit down and let things happen. That don't mean because it's the end times you just see people getting raped in the street and you just don't say nothing. You see the government being corrupt and you don't do nothing and say nothing. He has a remnant set aside, even in the end times, to be able to stand up for what is right. Daniel had to stand up to the Nebuchadnezzar, to go into the lion's den. The Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had to go inside the fiery furnace. You know what they said? They said, we ain't bowing because our God is going to deliver us. That's what they said. You know, they say in the face of everyone bowing, they said, we will not bow because our God is going to deliver us. That ain't faith, you know. That's just words. You know what's the faith? What they said next. They said, and even if he don't, we still ain't gonna bow. That's faith. So win, lose, or draw, we could do this because it's the right thing. Because we know that God is going to deliver this nation. And guess what? And even if he don't, we still can stand up for what is right. Because we got real, crazy faith. And we could do what we know is right. See you all next time.